Hey everybody, let me switch my camera around. Okay, good morning. Dr. Val here. Really quick, I'm just gonna I have a question for you. Welcome to Coffee Chats. Do you think you're metabolically flexible? And what does that mean? So your mitochondria in your cells is what gives your body energy. Every cell in your body can only run on two different types of fuel. Your brain cells can run on sugar or ketones. The rest of your body runs on sugar or fat. And when I say runs on, it means the mitochondria inside, which are these little organelles inside your cell. Every cell in your body has sometimes dozens, sometimes hundreds of mitochondria inside the cells. That is what takes one of those forms of energy and runs it through its little energy producing system to then generate ATP, which is what your body needs to be able to, that's the frequent or the currency of energy in your body. It's producing ATP. So your mitochondria are using one of those three things. In your brain, it's sugar, ketones. Everywhere else, it's sugar or fat, okay? So when you switch from sugar to burning something else, your mitochondria take a while to adapt to using that particular fuel source to something else. If they can't switch from one to the other, you're not metabolically flexible. Or I should say, if you can, but it comes with great pain. So if you're used to being a sugar burner, meaning you're burning sugar only for fuel, the products of that, the byproducts, what your body is releasing when you burn sugar is a very, very dirty process inside the cell. If your body is burning ketones or fat, it's a very clean process. It's like the natural gas, as opposed to a smoky wood fire. What that does inside the cell when you burn sugar versus the fat fuels, there's a huge difference in the cell and what builds up in the cell. Meaning, if you were to do this, if you were to build a fire in an enclosed room and you used wood, you're going to have smoke everywhere. Well, it's the same way when you're burning energy inside from that mitochondria, which is the fireplace. Whatever is coming out of that is filling the rest of the cell. So your mitochondria become much faster at switching from one form of energy to the other when you are practicing fasting. Fasting and intermittent fasting will help your mitochondria become metabolically flexible, meaning, if I don't have sugar around, I'm going to burn fat instead. And that process gets easier and easier and easier over time. And you become what's called fat adapted if your body and your cells are used to burning fat instead of sugar. If you have only been a sugar burner, you are not fat adapted. Your cells, your mitochondria are only used to burning sugar in those pathways. It has the capability to burn fat, but it takes practice. So people that say, well, I can't go more than 2 hours without eating, they are so metabolically inflexible. Their body is like, I don't know how to function without sugar. I have to eat something. Where you get immediately hungry, like 2 hours after you eat, and you're like, oh, I'm hungry again. That's because you're only giving your body sugar. You went on a sugar high, and now 2 hours later, you're in a sugar low. And since your body's like, I don't know how to function without sugar, it gives you hunger sensation to make you eat more. That's where that 2 hour snacking after a meal starts coming in. You start putting more things in your mouth to start the whole process over again. And your sugars just do this, up and down, 20 times a day. Everything you put in your mouth, sugar, low sugar, high sugar, low sugar. That roller coaster is horrible on your hormones, it drives inflammation all over the body. It's horrible in every area of your life. I've done other videos on on sugar and why you should stop it. That's one of my big recommendations is getting off of refined sugars. But in terms of what's going on in the cell, when you're eating a very low carb diet, then what happens is it forces your cells to become adapted to its other fuel source, which is either ketones in the brain or fat everywhere else. And we all want to burn fat, right? So anyway, if you are one of those people that's like, well, I can't go more than 4 hours without eating, or I can't skip a meal, or I can't do, I can't miss 2 meals. Man, that would kill me. You are not metabolically flexible. So how you get there is through fasting. That's honestly the best way to train your cells. You start creating a window of time where you're eating between a smaller and smaller window. Instead of eating for 12 hours in a day, you can eat, if you crunch that window down to 8 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours. When I'm intermittent fasting, my typical eating window is about 3 hours. I eat between 4 and 7, in the afternoon and evening, and I eat till I'm full. You're not calorie restricting. You just eat less often. You're not eating less. So I could eat meat, healthy foods, but you can eat as much as you want until full, but you're going to find that you eat less. So, overall, but if you're eating a lot of good fats, that gives you more calories to burn. Anyway, so that's really all I have today. Just that question, are you metabolically flexible or inflexible? And you'll know if you can't go more than about, a few hours without eating, you are very metabolically inflexible. So hope everybody has a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.